everybody, and here we are again, back on Calmsden, but with a difference. Welcome to my new farm. So, bit of explaining to do. Obviously you guys haven't seen me since the last episode I recorded a few weeks ago. And well, I thought I'd better explain why that is really what I've done here. So, obviously, Calmsden came out into FS25 a few weeks ago now, and like everybody else, I was just hyped. I was like, yes, UK map, here we go, let's get on it. Downloaded it, straight onto it, fell back in love, was like, right, let's get going. Straight into a let's play, used that other farm, was going good. Completely forgot though that Oxy had added in the ability really for you to kind of customize it. Just got carried away and went straight in. Started seeing pictures of other people's kind of farms and things, and I wanted to give a shout out to a guy I think called was he called the Realistic Farmer or the Real Sim I think it's called the Realistic Farmer, and he'd done his video just came up as a suggested sort of first episode of his Let's Play on Calmsden, and he came down the road that we're on here to this farm, and he'd completely changed it and built a yard in this field here, and I thought, that is ace. That's what I need to do. Build my own farm. Because as much as I love Calmsden and the other farm as well, I was kind of like, we've kind of done that before. Let's do something new. And I knew instantly that I had to start again and make my own thing from scratch. So that's what I've done. And here it is. So as you are aware as well, I'm still struggling sometimes to get a lot of recording done with a new family. My little boys, my little twin boys, they're now just over 12 weeks old. In fact, I think they're 12 weeks old today actually. So yeah, very nearly 3 months old. As we're recording this, I have one of them strapped to my chest in his little carrier. So as this is a brand new farm, and it's kind of, you know, my thing that I'm going to be doing during the evenings when I'm sort of keeping them company before, you know, when they're playing up a bit and their mum's trying to get some sleep. This farm is called Twin Suns Farm. Twin Suns as in the sun in the sky. As a bit of a homage to this new part of my life. Anyway, I've whittled on far too much now. So, let's give you a quick farm tour. Because there's various bits and pieces I've done, and then we'll get into it. So, I'll explain about tractors and things and what we're going for in a bit. So we'll start off. Obviously, I've put the farm sort of house is here now. This is obviously the dairy farm that you get on this side of the map. So the farmhouse is here on this side, and then round the back, obviously you've got the garden. I've got my dog. There's Dylan. There he is over there. I haven't renamed him in the folder yet, but we'll feed him. He's still called. It's not called Ted. It's called Dylan. Come on, game, get it right. So there he is. Dylan is the name of my dog in real life, and he is a yellow Labrador Retriever, just like that little guy. So yeah, this is the back garden, which I've edited in. Put a nice little bench, because some of the views from the back here looking down are just stunning. Obviously it's quite foggy today, down by the river. But you get that amazing effect on the trees. Again, that's all new in this version of the game. It looks stunning, you have to say. Hats off to them for sorting that out. It looks great. So yeah, so this is kind of where we spawn in. And you've got your standard sheds here. So, obviously I've removed a lot of the barn items here and things. And stuck in. Obviously, you've got the vehicle workshop here from the other farm, which I've popped in. So obviously, you know, you're all doing here. Workshop's there, and then we've got this little sort of shelter bit with an entrance to the road. One of the main things I have done is I got rid of the sort of stone walls down here and replaced them with hedges. The main reason being is because where I live, a lot of the farms and the lanes near the farms, they're really narrow, and they're always surrounded by hedges like this, and I just think it looks great. It's proper quintessential country lane. You could be anywhere in the UK with lanes like this, nice and tight, and through the middle of the yard. So that's kind of why I've done that there as well. Mainly grassland equipment here. I am ignoring that. I'll come to it in a minute. Mainly grassland equipment here. So we've obviously got the row, got the tedder, and big mower. I've also got this little mower. I'm going to use this because I've got a few really small grass fields, and they're a bit small for the big mower and the big tractor. So I thought, well, I'll get this smaller mower and we can tow it behind something like the Massey out there, or this beast. So, as you all know, if you've seen my channel before, I've often said Ford 8210, probably one of my, well, it is my favourite tractor, I suppose, from an old school, proper old school perspective. I just think they're class. There was a mod that I used in FS22. I did loads of research into conversion, and I've managed to get this thing working without any errors, and I am over the moon. It took me ages and I learned a hell of a lot actually, which was quite interesting. So no, this isn't available anywhere, it's just the FS22 mod that I've converted myself, and I bloody love it. It's great. So yeah, so we can use this. It's I've got it with a tuning sort of package on, so it's about 150 horsepower, I think, maybe a little bit less. But because it's nice and small, we can use that for this small mower, and we can use it for a bit of bale transporting and kind of mowing those hay meadows and things. In fact, let's do the tour in the Ford, eh? So through here, we've kind of going into the main yard now. So the idea behind the farm is it's kind of like it's not really a small farm. It's, I'd say, more medium size, but it's going to be a beef and arable farm. So we've got a lot of our arable equipment that kind of doesn't require, you know, I don't know what the word is, but there's less things to go wrong. There's, you know, it's not precise like a seeder. This is like kind of our mechanical, I suppose, equipment really, which just lives outside. So you've obviously got disc harrows, cultivator, plough, rollers, you know, subsoiler, couple of trailers there, class one's the old one we're going to use for transporting muck, and then the grain trailer is just there. This here is going to be a little field we're going to use for our sort of calves and young stock. So as a beef farm, my plan is, we've already got some cattle and they're grazing, I'll take to them in a bit. My plan is to use those as breeding stock, and then when they have calves, we'll rear the calves, we'll fatten them, put them as young calves in here, stick them as they get older into the other pastures, fatten them up and send them off to market, and keep our original ones as kind of our breeding stock. And then what I'll do is, as they get a bit older, obviously we'll swap them out and breed some replacements as well. I might do some dairy cattle at some point, but beef is something I've never really done, so I thought we'll focus on that in this Let's Play so far. Here I've got a little sort of bale sort of thing, if you will, made of corrugated metal, just for putting my silage bales in so they don't roll away. I'm going to try as much as I can to kind of analogically move them around. Analogically? Is that a word? It is now. But yeah, like move them around manually without kind of having to do lots of auto loading and stuff. I have got auto loader trailers for when we've got bigger loads, but when we're unloading in the yard, I thought let's try and do it more manually and stuff, and make it a bit more fun, I suppose, and just go for the long playthrough style. So as we come around here, we're into the main yard. So we've got our bunker here, as you would normally get on Calmsden. Just dump that there for a sec. So 4D modding, bale trailer, there obviously. We've already mentioned the bunker, but in here is our main sort of shed. And again, for now, we've gone with the old school Massey harvester. So it's you know, obviously quite old, been used a lot, something we'll be looking to upgrade at some point. And I've gone with mainly small equipment for now. So we've obviously got a seeder in here, we've got a power harrow, fert spreader, and we've got seed stored in here too. This here, this is another convert I've done from FS22. I think I can't remember the modder who did this one, but it was the one who did the S series, I think it's called. It's either LS Agri Ole, I think, or KRKZ. One of those two, not quite sure. Sorry. But again, this was an FS22 mod that I've brought over into 25 and converted across. This is obviously a 6718. So I've gone with this as kind of being 21 plate, so you're looking at 4 years old. And this is how kind of nerdy I went into this, because I've done a lot of research, and for sort of medium and small farms where they've got tight lanes, you obviously can't really be using large frame tractors. They get stuck, you can't get them through the gates. So a lot of farmers are using these kind of smaller frame, smaller tractors, but then getting them remapped. That's what I've done with this 6718S. So obviously as stock, I think it's like 180, 185 horsepower. With boost, I think they can get about, I think it's 200. Anyway, I went onto Avondale Tuning's website and looked at what they can do for different engine types, and for this particular model, if you take this to them to get it remapped, they can get this up to 225 horsepower for you. That's what I've done. I've gone into the XML file, I've enabled this to have that 225 horsepower, and I thought it's a good little starting tractor, can do a lot of our main groundwork, tillage works, not too big. And then as we go forward, we can look to maybe upgrade at some point. You'll see I've mainly gone for masses, just because I've never really used them before in game. It's a bit different. I think they're quite cool. And obviously that'll keep Noel happy, who I know loves his masses. But I might go back to John Deere at some point, depending on what mods come out and stuff in the future. So, yeah. So, that is that. Coming back through here, so obviously we have grain shed. I am going to try my best to not use that silo up there. I've left it in because I think it looks quite cool, to be fair. Although I might replace it at some point, maybe put a feed silo. If we get that old Collinson silo that MS Modding did into 25, I might replace it with that and use it for putting like mineral feed in at some point. Obviously none of that is available at the minute, so leaving it there just because it looks cool. But yeah, I want to try and do this a bit more manually, so I've placed down this small grain shed, and as you can see I've already done the harvest. So we've got a load of barley here and a load of wheat. We'll wait until about December, and then we'll get the trucks in from the wheat, from the grain mill, get it in, get it sent, and we'll make a bit of money from that hopefully. So yeah, so again I'm going to do all that manually using a loader, load the truck myself, etc. Back into here, 4D modding, Abbey slurry tanker. We don't have any slurry yet, but looking forward to using that. Probably be next season now once the cows have been in for 6 months over winter. Popped in the old manure heap because that's a mod that came out recently, and I found the Gilbert muck spreader, so we've gone with that for now. So this again is one of the Calmsden sheds which I've chucked in here, and then I've also stuck in the tarp sort of bale storage areas, just because trying to faff around with manual loading in here is so tricky with the poles and things, and we don't actually have a sort of, I think it's called like a Dutch barn, isn't it, style hay shed yet that has more wide open access. So while we don't have that, I thought this is the next best thing. We'll stick these tarps down, and we've got them down as kind of the bale storage area. So we've got hay there, and obviously straw from the last harvest we did, so that is all good to go. Cow shed everybody knows about already. Couple of implements out here, mainly telehandler ones. And there you can see we're back round the front there, and the road goes off down there. And again, I've gone with all hedges down here, mainly because, again, like I say, it's just what I tend to see up here where I live. Lots of tight lanes, lots of hedges around farms, and also I was kind of inspired a bit by Purbeck Valley. One of the first Let's Plays I watched for FS before I bought the game was Dago playing on Purbeck, and it just reminded me so much of the kind of farms up north where I live. You know, you've got a farm that has a road through the middle of it, lots of lanes with tight hedges, so I kind of wanted to replicate that as much as possible in Calmsden. So, let's go and take a look at the animals we've got so far. So again, we've kind of kept with the sort of hedges and lanes feeling out here as well. This is one of our crop fields. I have edited that barley cut texture actually, and I need to do it to the other wheat fields at some point, but for now I've only done it to barley. But I think that looks quite cool actually, a little bit more fuller, and it doesn't seem to have affected my FPS, which is good. So there are our beef stock. So I think, don't quote me, I'm pretty sure we've got about 60 cows, 65 cows was it? 75, sorry. So I think that was like 30 or 35 Limousin, however you pronounce that, and then 40 Angus cows. So again, as I say, these are going to be our breeding stock. I'm going to keep them out here till I'd probably say like we would in real life. So you're looking at probably October, November, depending on the weather, and then we'll bring them in. So obviously grazing still isn't working in game yet. We know there's another patch coming, so hopefully that'll get fixed soon. But for now, I'm just bunging hay down into the feeder there, and obviously watering them too with the little Bowser thing back at the farm. So that is our cows that we have at the moment. This here, I've done my best to try and hide it. You'll notice that the cows' kind of pen, I've got rid of the fences and managed to do it all sort of invisible. Big shout out to I think he's called. I'm so bad at getting people's names right on YouTube. Might be the Midlife Simster or Midlife Farmer, Midlife Sim. Yeah, I'll try and get a link to his channel in the description for this video. He did a video all about how if you want you know, pens and with the custom fences, and you want to delete those fences, how you can do that. That was a godsend. I will link to that video because yeah, he deserves all the praise he gets for that, because it has been, yeah, game changer really. Right. Just trying to think of anything else we need to talk about before we get going. Oh yeah. So as I was saying, I've mainly gone with masses. You tend to get farms that go with a single brand really, and I didn't want to mix and match them all. So I've obviously got the 8210 there is like my, again, just because I love it. And then I've gone with the 5S as our kind of like yard loader tractor. I'm actually really loving this, especially with the wheel weights. It's great for lugging bales around and things. This is a brand new 24 plate one, so I'm just going to sort of say that, you know, we've bought this a couple of weeks ago, only just delivered to the farm, and so far it is playing a blinder. It's really, really good, doing exactly what we need. And then down here we've got this battered and knackered old 675. It's a lovely mod. You see a lot of these on those like UK style farms, and how good does that look with the sort of fog in the background down the lane and the bushes. It's so cool. So yeah, this does run, and it's about 60 odd horsepower, I think, 68 horsepower. So it can't really do much, but I thought it's handy for having, once, you know, I'm sure at some point there will be a yard scraper released on Mod Hub, so we'll use it for scraping. Probably going to use it for, if we need to, we could perhaps do a little bit of like tedding with it in the summer, just for a bit of fun and just because it looks cool. So that is that. Other little things before we crack on. So in here I've got a little John Deere ride-on mower. I got that for doing the grass around the back. I've painted down the sort of short meadow grass, which I'm not sure if it grows or not. So I thought, well, I'll get this anyway. It'll be a bit of fun to do if it does grow, and yeah, if it doesn't, I might put the longer one down, cut it occasionally, and watch it grow up again, and just keep using this to cut the grass, just a bit of fun. So that is that. In this shed, this is what I'm using to store our solid fert. We'll probably reuse that space as well for other things in the future too, but for now, just keeping the solid fert in here locked away. In these sheds, we are looking at... Yeah, so this is our baler. So we've got the Krone Varipack round baler, and then obviously round bale wrap there just in the shed with it. So that is that. And then over here we've got the wrapper, Brownie wrap, and then obviously that'll be the wrap we use for next year. So I'm going to try and colour code wrap bales as we go forward, just so we know what's been used when, and that kind of thing really. So I think that's everything. So oh, hang on. Actually, I need to put the normal sort of time on now. So we're going with, I'm pretty sure I set it to 2-day months for now. Seasons is obviously on. I've got periodic ploughing on. I might not always do it, but I've got it on just because it adds to the realism. You know. I'm also using the new, I think it's called Realistic Weather mod that came out. It looks incredible, the whole moisture it adds in, the snow blizzards you get. I think this fog is the leftover from a really thick fog that came through earlier in the morning. You could hardly see a thing. So, going to be using that throughout the this Let's Play too. Not going to do a role play yet because I think until there's more mods, it's difficult to do in game. So, we'll do a bit as a Let's Play and a little bit lighthearted again. And you know, have a couple of role play elements into it, but not too serious. And that is everything, I think. So fields. So we have this is our sort of big main field at some point. I am thinking. Well, I was thinking I might plant grass into this and then make it into a silage field. However, that would be a huge grass field as a starting grass field. If we had Maize Plus, I'd be like, yeah, we should do that because we're going to be using feed left, right and centre with 60 odd cows. I'm not sure what the feeding rates are like in the current game, you know, so I'm actually thinking now, let's do another season with a crop in there. All the fields need liming. Because we're a medium farm, I haven't got the gear for that. I'm going to sort of simulate, like we were saying in that earlier series, we'll bring in contractors to do anything big like that. So I will bring in a contractor and use a bit of course play to get all the liming done for all the fields, and then we'll do the field work ourselves for the most part. And then for now, we'll stick to silage bales. And then as we grow in operations, and depending on how much the cows start to eat and things, we can maybe look to then plant this into grass and do a big silage harvest at some point. Or failing that, I could plant some maize in one of the other fields, and we do it as a maize, like maize silage in the bunker. So we'll figure that out. So yeah, so for now, barley was in this, so I think what we'll do is we will stick in some wheat into this field for next year. Plant that, I think, October, November time. So we've got a bit of work to do on that. As I say, we've got to lime it, and then we'll have to probably want to subsoil it, I reckon, this time around, and then we'll drill it once we've subsoiled it. Got this field over here. This was a wheat field that's been harvested. That needs planting. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 wheat fields. So again, all those need liming, and I'm going to stick OSR into that. So OSR canola. I always use the UK name. It's just force of habit. So yeah, canola. We're going to stick into those fields there. And then this is our other sort of crop field that had barley in it. So again, we will. Do you know, I might actually make that one a grass field. So we've got a bit of extra grass for next year. It's not too big. It's only bigger than 38, which we've already got as grass. So yeah, we'll drill that as grass. And then yeah, we've got an extra kind of silage field or hay field for next year, and we'll see how we go. So grass fields we already mentioned. We've got that one. That kind of doesn't count anymore because it's that pasture for the young stock. We've got this one down here, which I've made into another little pasture, but we can cut that. We can get in nice and easy with a mower to cut it. And also field 21. Was planning on using these as mainly hay meadows and grazing into that one when we need to. So, oh yeah, we do have this down here as well. But that was mainly, I think, I needed to get that so I could put like placeables on it and stuff. But I'm thinking, you know, it's kind of like woodland. I'm not going to change it, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, there we go. I think that's everything. So well, I say let's. I'll stop wittering now. We'll get into it and actually get some farming done. So last time when you saw me doing this, we were doing a bit of mowing, a bit of begging. All of that's been done. Let's actually get these contractors in and get them liming. So I'll sort that out now, and then we can start looking at doing some field work ourselves. So I'll catch you in a bit. There we are, everyone. You can see, as I said, got the AI working here now. He's doing the contracts on these fields for us. He's just started on our main sort of crop field here, starting to spread that lime. So I think what I'm going to go and do in the meantime is the wheat field. Well, both wheat fields are going to need disking, so may as well go and start getting that done before he gets to plant. Sorry, do the lime in that. So I'm going to leave him to carry on, and we'll go and jump in the one of the tractors. I can't remember what horsepower requirement we've got for that disc harrow, so we'll just go and check that now, and then hook it up and go and get some work done as promised. So I believe that this here is our disc. Yes, 140 horsepower. Excellent. So we'll get in the 6S and let's go and get some farming done. So I'm going to put this onto a time lapse for everyone, put a bit of music on, and you can watch me going and doing. Oh, apologies if you can hear that. Oh dear, are you not a fan? Oh dear. There you go, mate. So I will hook up to this disc harrow. And then we'll put it on a time lapse, and we'll see you once we've got this work done. And I think once we've got this done, that'll be it for this first episode, and we will be carrying on this save because I'm super excited about this now. I feel like I've got a farm. that I can sort of get on long term and do plenty of work on, and I'm really excited about it. You know, once more mods start coming through and we can put more mods onto it, it's going to be a cracking playthrough. And yeah, it just feels like a proper British farm. So I will catch you guys in a bit after we've got this fieldwork done. See you in a bit. Alright, so here we are. We've just finished the last of these wheat fields. We've dissed them all, but you can't really see because it's filthy in here and extremely foggy. But if I just jump out, contractor's just arrived to lime this field. You might just be able to see him over there in the distance. So he's got this one to lime and this one to lime, and then he's done, which is good. So yeah, So as I say, I don't really know, obviously, because obviously I'm still recording this, how much of the disking I've put into that little montage you've just seen with the music and stuff, because I just don't know how long the video is going to be. But my intention is to then, obviously, I'll learn as I go along, let's say. So what I'm going to do now is just jump into this tractor and get back to the yard. I'll also have a bit of a chat. So, yeah, as I say, we've got the... I folded that up, yeah. We've got that subsoiling, that disking done, which is good. And now those fields are ready for drilling. So they had wheat in last time, and I think we're going to put barley into them next time. I had a bit of a think about what I want to do with them. The fields that had barley in them last time, I'm going to put OSR or, well, sorry again, canola into them. So I want to prep them a bit more just to get the best yield possible. So I've decided, rather than plough them, this year I'm going to soil them. Just kind of role play that, you know, ground's not had a ploughing a bit, heavily compacted quite a way underneath. So we'll get the subsoiler onto that field there on the right, and then there's the other barley field over the back bit. Not as big as this one, but a decent size. So yeah, get them subsoiled, and then after that we will get a power harrow onto them, and then we will drill them. So that is the plan for those fields, and probably what we're going to be doing in the next episode. But that brings us nicely back to the farm. So I'll just pull up here. Okay, my work light's then on the road. Oh no, I didn't, that's good. So yeah, there we go. Successful first episode. So all that remains is to say thanks very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this second coming of my series on Calmsden, and we will be carrying this one on. As I say, I'm super excited about this one. It's going to be really good fun. To me, it kind of feels a lot more like that medium-sized kind of, you know, mixed arable and beef farm. I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah. So I will catch you all in episode 2 when we will do a bit of subsoiling and some drilling. So until then, I'll catch you all soon. Ta-ra!